Welcome back, fam. What's going on? This is Chris with Food for Your Thoughts. I hope you've been enjoying your day so far and really, being intentional with your growth and development, knowledge of self-discovery, right? Leaving no stone unturned in your life, right? And really being the cause in our lives each and every day instead of waiting for the effect to happen. We also been applying these 7 hermetic principles daily, right? Because we know there's a cause and effect for everything, and everything matters, right? And so we've been learning more about our names. And as I mentioned to you guys before, we'll discuss more about going over the name in a future presentation. Also learn more about your life path. If you need help with that, I'll walk you all the way through that. Go back to some of my previous presentations. I'll walk you all the way through that. Also investigate your natal chart, okay? Go to astroseek.com. They'll hook you up. These are some tools, some additional tools you can put in your toolbox, okay, guys? So you can, gain more knowledge of self, okay? But at the end of the day, each and every one of us, we control our own destiny, okay? We're here to have our experience and fulfill our soul contract, our destiny, okay? So I'm just here to remind you of your greatness and let you know, like, hey, we all been lied to. So now that you know better, you're going to do better, right? So you can't blame nobody but ourselves. So we got to take responsibility for our lives and go ahead and hit the ground running. We're going to make some mistakes, okay? And man, you made plenty before you came across this presentation, right? And it's okay. But it's all about starting all over and starting now, okay? You're not the same person you were yesterday. So you can rewrite your story anytime you want to. It's up to you, okay? So with that being said, we are continuing and finishing off this fourth and final set of the universal spiritual laws, the laws of higher frequency, okay? And today it is all about spiritual law of healing. When I get that feeling, right? But we need real healing, right? All right. So with that being said, be sure to click that like, subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all the new subscribers out there. And remember, it's all about, I'm here, this is not new information. All I'm doing is taking all our ancient information that I come across, I remix it, I break it down to layman's terms so anybody can get a better understanding, overstanding, and how to navigate in this universe, okay? Because we live in a universe, so the universe has laws, principles, and guidelines that we need to live by so we can stay in balance with ourselves and the cosmos. I hope that makes sense so far. So you don't have to wing it anymore. So start all over with these universal spiritual laws, right? Learn them, be them, know them, right? And then you have no choice but to see results, okay? So with that being said, as always, our purpose and mission in life, right, requires learning a whole bunch of life lessons to gain that experience and knowledge for our soul growth. So it's, you've been doing the same thing over and over again. You've been following what your parents taught you, your grandparents taught you, what society taught us, right? And you know damn well that stuff don't work, okay? It's okay. I was there too. All right. But I rewrote my story once I knew better. Okay. But once you, elevate yourself, especially applying these 7 hermetic principles. Okay. Share your knowledge and wisdom with people. Trust your own intuition. Stop believing in things outside of you. It's time to know thyself. All right. So it start with knowledge of self and who you are and why are you here on the planet at this time, because you came here to do great things. Somebody, convinced you that you came here to work a job, all your life. No. That's not you. You didn't come here to do that. All right. So by now, your thoughts, beliefs, words, emotions, and actions are always going to equal your reality and your results. So it's time to draw back all your power and use it for your rise. Okay. I'm here to remind you. Keep your money in check. Learn about money. What is money? Why does money keep avoiding you, right? So as you learn about money, you'll realize like, hey, I need to be of service to people. And then the next step, I need to stop spending money. Instead of spending money, I need to circulate money. Because when you circulate money, you expect that money to come back to you, right? So that's the mindset. It's all a mindset, okay? But you got to learn about money, how to, gain those assets to pay for your liabilities. That way you can live for free. I repeat, the rule of the game of money is to acquire the assets to pay for all of your liabilities. That way you can live for free. Okay, so again, go back to the spiritual law of prosperity. If you need help learning about money and how to attract it in your life, I give you all the keys right there. Okay, there's no price tag on that information. Any expert would highly advise any of those books and those references. I promise you. Okay, so I want to save you guys a lot of time and frustration, and so you can elevate. And as you elevate, you can be like, man, let me donate back to Chris because he gave me some free game. Okay, so let's move on in. So when it comes to healing, guys, I'm gonna give you the talking points, some key takeaways, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and give you my my takeaways and get you guys out of here. Okay, so when it comes to the spiritual law of healing, the power is in you. I told you that before. The answer is in you. And you are the answer to all your searches. You are the goal. You are the answer. It's never outside, guys. So I'm here to remind you of your own greatness. When you sit with yourself long enough, stop waiting till you get upset to just sit with yourself. You can channel that energy anytime you want to. So sit with yourself, connect with nature, all right? And love yourself. I love you. That's why I'm sharing this message. Down here, all right, to speed things up, really investigate and study these frequencies. So I'm gonna give you a quick tip, to really, reset your, reset yourself so you can, elevate, especially while you sleeping. Your avatar is sleeping at night or resting at night. Let me say resting at night, right? While you doing your thing somewhere else. So with that being said, investigate these frequencies. So my advice is, turn all your, turn the TV off, any background noise, turn that stuff off, right? And now you're going to reprogram yourself because your brain never shuts off. It's like a tape recorder. That thing keeps recording everything. So why not prep yourself while you're resting, right? With the appropriate frequencies. So when you do open your eyes, you feel, you have a certain, get up and go about yourself, if I put it that way. So with that being said, here are some frequencies that I highly recommend or for you to investigate and apply right away. So again, at nighttime, turn off turn off the TV and let these frequencies play at night while you're sleeping. Okay, that way it's you reprogram your subconscious mind and you allowing these frequencies to heal you. Okay, so with that being said, 174 hertz deals with removal of pain. 285 deals with the influence, energy field. Okay, 396 deal with liberation you of fear and guilt. 417 facilitates change. Many of us need to change. 432 is to tap right into that heart chakra, right? Miracle tone of nature, right? 528 repairs DNA. 639 heals relationships. I used to keep this playing all the time when I realized, like, hey, I was the cause of a lot of my own relationship issues because I didn't know who I was, and I didn't realize that the people that I was involved with was just a direct reflection of me, my perfection and imperfections. So I really didn't love myself or those individuals, to their, utmost. So leading on in, okay. With that being said, we got what I said, 639 that deals with heals relationship. 741 deals with awakens your intuition, really tapping into your spirit. 852 deals with the attract soul tribe, okay. And 963 deals with connection with the light and spirit. And leading on in with these healing, when it comes to healing, guys, all disease begins in the gut and in the mind. All right. So a lot of people are walking around with these, a lot of weeds in their mind, right? It's time to, prune that garden, right? Clean up the weeds, all the bad programs and beliefs, right? And start healing the mind first, okay? As above, so below, as within, so without, right? So, and this is taken from, Hippocrates, right? Which is Imhotep, right? Research Imhotep, father of medicine. Also research Dr. Sebi, okay? Please do so. I'm not going to say much more than that, all right? Leading on in. Most of us emerge from childhood with conscious and unconscious psychic wounds and emotional unfinished business, right? Been there, done that. And we, what we leave incomplete, we are doomed to repeat. So what I had to do, I had to, go back to my old self, right? I really had to, go back, to my inner child and forgive myself. I had to forgive myself, because I was just a child. So whatever happened to you, if you got childhood trauma or you got relationship, problems, and you really didn't know, really about yourself, you didn't love yourself enough where, you had to, to let go of certain people, right? And we talked about that before. So it's okay to revisit, your inner child and forgive yourself. Like, hey, I'm not that same person I was, back then. Now I have better knowledge, I have better wisdom, and I can use those experiences as a teaching point to help other people to level up so they don't make the same mistakes or get caught up in the same experiences. I hope that makes sense. So at some point in the future, which is now, because remember the past, present, and future is happening right now, guys, suppressed emotions will be shown to be the cause of many of our diseases and illnesses, right? And this is in turn would be superseded, right? And even deeper understanding, and overstanding will arise with a new paradigm of health and wholeness beyond which anyone could previously imagine. So, and I had dropped some serious gems in my Zodiac Health presentation series. So if you want to tap in some of this, extra health information, go to that very first presentation intro slide, right? And I have quite a few books on there on the actual screenshot. But if you look in the description area, I got quite a few references to help you out so you can start working on your own internal journey to healing yourself, okay? Self-healing. So as we get ready to lead on in so I can get you guys out of here, when it comes to healing, right, these are some elements. You got wood. When it comes to wood, it deals with the gallbladder, sinus, the liver, the eyes. We got fire, the element of fire. It deals with the heart, blood, small intestines, and the vessels. We got the element of earth, right? It deals with the mouth, the stomach, right? The muscles, the spleen. We got metal. It deals with the lung, the large intestines, the nose, and the skin. We got the element of water, right? It deals with the kidney, the bladder, bones, and ear. So basically these are when you doing your healing practices and modalities, use all the elements available to you. Leave no stone unturned, right? And that's gonna lead to what? The power of what? Self-healing. And as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. We have the truth still with us, but it's not found in books to any given extent. It has been passed along from lips to ear, and when it was written down at all, its meaning was veiled in terms of alchemy and astrology, so only those possessing the keys could read it, all right? And that's from the three initiates, the Kabbalion. So I'm here to remind you of your greatness, and don't be afraid to unlock the universe within you, because what? You are your own universe. And with anything that we discuss, guys, remember polarity, one of the 7 hermetic principles. There's a good side, not so good side, some things we can work on, some things, we doing great, but we can always get better. It's always, it's all about becoming better than you were yesterday. All right. It's our hero's journey. So let's lead on in, guys. Light is energy. Your physical body is built by the energy and vibration of the conscious, right, of your soul over many lifetimes. You are here to experience life in a human body. Certain physical choices are made by your soul and higher self before birth and may appear as physical limitations, right? So your lower self make other choices from moment to moment. There are 2 basic emotions on the earth plane. One is fear. We've been talking about that. And the other one is love. So when you resist your chosen experiences through fear, you basically create, blocks in your mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies, okay, that you can't see. All right. These eventually causes physical disease or dis-ease because your body is not at ease. So with that being said, rigid and inflexible beliefs and mental attitude caused by both mental and physical tension. So if you hold a physical body or an organ of the body in tension, over time, something physical will manifest. And you see this with people all the time. All right. So deny or suppressed emotions sit within the body until they manifest into a physical illness. I repeat, deny or suppressed emotions sit within the body until they manifest into a physical illness. We see this with people all the time with these suppressed emotions. Okay. So when you fail to acknowledge your spiritual self, you hinder the supply of divine energy, and eventually your physical body will wither away. All right. So don't deny your physical, experience here. Okay. So all ill health or disease is caused by stagnant energy. So when you feel happiness and inner joy, your cells flow with love. Your body responds by being healthy. Okay. So love is high frequency. Okay. High frequency energy, which keeps your body clear and flowing, guys. All right. All manifestations are low vibrations. Okay. So I repeat, all manifestations of fear are low vibrations and block the flow of positive energy or chi, which is your breath or air, okay? So healing takes place when the high frequency energy flows through the body, transmuting the stagnant energy that we talked about, which caused the disease in the first place. So what you got to do? You must always ask for permission before you interfere with anybody else's energy, okay? So always ask for permission before you interfere with anybody else's energy, okay? There are several reasons for this, okay? Reason one, the person's illness may be severe in them in some way, whether they like it or not, okay? Or I take that back. That the person's illness may be serving them in some way. It's a lesson involved, whether they like it or not. It could be a karmic lesson they may need to experience or learn from. Okay. So number two, the illness may be serving them a higher purpose for growth or for their person's soul. Okay. And number three, the illness is their karma. And if they are not, having taken the time to learn the lessons that have been offered, you will not be serving, them any good for growth by healing it, okay? So what are they learning from that karmic lesson if you heal them, okay? Without them really, doing that self-reflection and being honest with thyself, right? And saying, you know what? Oh man, I haven't been honest with these people, or I haven't been telling the truth to my wife about certain issues, or my husband about certain issues. And every time I look at him, I'm just holding this lie. Or every time I look at my coworker, I'm just holding this lie with them. So those things will manifest, okay? So it's that iceberg effect. Remember, you building up. Once you pile that stuff up so much, it's got to manifest on the outside. I hope that makes sense. All right. So let's go ahead and lead on in and get you guys out of here. So where are we at here? All right, so it might not be the right time for them to heal. That's another example, and their soul will know this. And then number 4, they may have a spiritual contract for someone else to facilitate their healing. So it may not be meant for you to heal. It may be meant for somebody else to line up along their path, at the right place and the right time, so to speak. And you basically kind of messing things up the flow. All right, so ultimately it is not up to you to decide whether or not for the person's highest good. So I want you to remember that, okay? So it's not your choice. So if you are able to ask for permission from a person, that you're dealing with, use your intuition and tune into their higher self. So you can use your mind and tap into their higher self and simply ask. And when you mentally ask for permission, you will receive a distinct impression of an affirmation answer if it's appropriate, okay? So the universe will line up a synchronicity, some kind of sound, or if something going in the background, you hear a yes or some of that nature to confirm, you asking. But if you do not receive a distinct answer, do not, send healing, okay? So please remember that. So don't interfere with anybody's space, okay? All right. So in an emergency, of course, when somebody's injured, do not hesitate to help them. All right. Don't do that. Go ahead and help them if it's an emergency. So healing energy will flow through you if it's appropriate. Okay. So let's talk about, some different modalities, and we're going to get you out of here. So we got spiritual healing. So when people dedicate themselves as healers, they attune themselves to the divine through spiritual practice, personal development, and right living. So this allows them to really channel high frequency energy. So that's why, people that's really on that frequency, they don't need a script. They can just talk and they know exactly what to say because they letting the spirit move through them to deliver a message, right? So it's not about book knowledge. It's about knowledge of self and deliver a message from the heart. Okay. So with that being said, this allowed them to channel that high frequency energy which flows through the cells of that person's physical body. So when this spiritual healing take place, this healer is a clear channel. Miracles can take place of, and the soul of the person receiving will use the healing where it needs it most. So you don't have to orchestrate everything. All you got to do is just channel that energy, to that person, from the divine, it's your will, so you channel that will through you with the light of healing to that person. So each party got to be open to receive. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's move on in. All right. So faith, we got faith healing. So when it comes to faith healing, the healer channels from the divine, but the healing, energy is activated by the power of prayer or either faith. So prayer is powerful. All it is kind of like a mass meditation. If you have a central focus point, or person per se, okay, hint, hint, is amazing. All of you guys are collectively, using your conscious and your mental states to perform, alchemy on that individual, just taking, something out of nothing, right? That's basically all it is. So prayer, prayer and faith really works, guys, but it's all about your intent and you coming from the heart. Again, we got attitudinal healing. So what this is about, the healer helps his client to change his attitude. So when the sick person generally forgives himself and the person who has caused the ill feelings of resentment, hate, fear, or other stagnant emotion, the energy blocks dissolves, right? And light and love flow again. So when you're able to use these 7 hermetic principles, you can reverse the polarities. When somebody is stuck in a rut, mentally, you can flip the switch, right? So they can see the good side or the lesson in the situation. I hope that makes sense. So then we got absent healing. So this is through prayer, spiritual healing, or intention. Light may be sent to someone to aid in their healing process. So I'll see people online sharing their message too, and I hear they may lose a loved one, on their spiritual path. I'll send a quick light towards them, like, hey, I'm sending a light of healing, to strengthen you at this time, so you can grow and use that experience as a teaching tool and how you was able to deal with it, and that's how I rock with it. So let's lead on in. So we got, what else we got here? We got absent healing. So what is absent healing? So again, I said this through, prayer, healing, intention, light may be sent to a person. Then we got magnetic healing. Magnetic healing is what, if someone has spare energy, personal energy, this may be used to transmute the lower frequency, which blocks someone else's. So energy can be raised by dance, ritual, or chanting. All right, because this is not, divine energy, per se, right? It is divine, but it's not coming straight from the divine. This is where we are actually, creating an energy force, or kind of like a vortex or a torus field, or another torus field within a torus field, right? But because, this is not divine energy, but the healing may not last unless it triggers the person's own self-healing mechanism. But, through dance and different rituals, especially, it builds up an emotion of just having fun. That's why, fun is so important. That's why you hear so many people say, hey, you can't be sad and have fun at the same time frame, right? You can only choose one. So that's why I say magnetic healing is, can be very important when you use it appropriately. We got Reiki healing, as we close. Healers are attuned to high frequency universal symbols. That's where they use, high frequency and universal symbols. This is rather like a, kind of like a TV set, being tuned in, right? So when you're attuning when you are attuning, you are bringing the Reiki energy to heal yourself and others. So let's talk about angel healing. So angelic healing is like spiritual healing, but the angels, take the person who is giving healing and the person receiving it pretty much to source or to God. And the possibilities are limitless, guys. All right. And you guys have seen this, throughout your, throughout your life on this plane, right? Let's talk about natural healing. So when it comes to natural healing, we got so many different elements here. We got homeopathic, right? We got acupuncture. We got crystal healing. We got sound, herbs, nutritional. We got most natural therapies all work, all these natural therapies all work to realign the sick person's energy system and to clear the blockages with, basically using high frequency energy. They also stimulate the person's own healing powers, okay, too. So basically, what I'm saying is when it comes to natural healing, the person that's performing, the session is getting healed, strengthened, and the person that, the sick person is feeling better at the same time frame. So it's a win-win, right? So as we get ready to close, right, the human consciousness, why is this all important? The human consciousness is rising so that the higher chakras or spiritual energy centers are open. All right. So what's happening now? More and more people are drawn to, healing at this time. People are, are really investigating. Like, man, I'm tired of going to the doctor. What can I do in the meantime, to get myself in alignment. So if I do have to go to the doctor, it's for something, minor, not something major. It's all about preventative measures, right? Preventative maintenance of your body, your vehicle, your car, right? So take responsibility of yourself. Remember, input equals output. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in what are you looking at with your eyes? What is coming in your body through your ears, right? Everything matters. So as we get ready to get out of here, really true healing takes place, based on my perspective and many other people. It starts in the mind, right? Everything is mental, and then it manifests in the physical. You are the author, of your own book. So it's okay to rewrite your story. So healing takes place because light transmutes the lower vibration of ill health. Remember that. All right. So as your, energy frequency and vibration, elevate, nothing can touch you, you are limitless. All right. But this is my takeaway of the spiritual law of healing. All right. Be sure to click that like, subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate you. And in our next presentation, we'll be talking about the law of purification. Right. And that's what you're, witnessing all over the planet, the earthquake, all the different, floods, everything. Mama Nature, Mama Universe. It's time, it's a global reset. All right. So that's why, we feel the way we feel. We asking more questions. We want to know why we here. So I'm here to remind you of your greatness, okay? Again, but our purpose and mission require to learn a whole bunch of life lessons, right? To gain that experience and notify our soul growth. So it's never too late to rewrite your story. Be sure to get those books, again, that I mentioned in the Zodiac Health presentation. All right, the very first one, the introduction, you'll see a whole bunch of books on there. And then look in the description there to get all those resources, okay? All right, so empower yourself. All right, but as you grow, share with people so they can, teach people to help themselves, and trust your own intuition, your own inner voice, your own energy, and use your power for your rise, because you know that your thoughts, belief, words, emotion, and action are always going to equal your reality and your results. Keep your money in check, fam. I love you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. All right, we will be back with our next presentation soon. Until next time, stay grateful and focused, fam. Peace.